was gearing up to like one of the most exciting times. Hari Bol. Vandeham. Page 1. I'm gonna go kind of quickly through the Mangalacharanam since it's already 10. Well, I guess maybe we'll just do bhajans in a very brief class. It's page 1. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapana Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Om Agyana Timirandasya Kyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaneti Namine Shri Krishna Lila Katani Sudaksham Udarya Madhurya Gunesha Yuktam Viram Viranyam Purushan Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasanamami Namo Om Vishnupadaya Keshav Preshdaya Bhutare Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vamaniti Namane Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshdaya Bhutare Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pushtatya Deshatarine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Acharya Simharupine Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshavayati Namine Atimarcha Charitraya Swashitanam Chapaline Jivaduke Sadartaya Shinama Premadayane Gaudashraya Vigrahaya Krishna Kamaikacharine Rupanuga Privaraya Vinodeti Swarupine Prabhupadantarangaya Sarva Sadguna Shaline Mayavada Tamoganaya Virantarta Vade Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutare Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayataya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurjvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Prevadaya Vinodeti Swarupine Namo Om Vishnu Namo Gaurakishoraya Sakshan Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambada Sambode Padambo Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Virayate Kodhavya Bhava Bhumestvam Nirjesta Sajdana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gunatvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shirada Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Mandamate Gati Matsavasva Parambojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Brindaranya Kapadrumada Shrimad Nagara Simhastanashto Shrimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Preshtani Bisevimano Swarami Shrimad Rasarasarambi Vamshi Vattatattashtitaha Karshan Venu Swanir Gopir Gopinata Shri Estuna Vrindaye Tulasi Devyaye Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavate Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktanupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Morning. We're going to sing some songs. You want a book? Page 23. Want a book too? I know it might be tough while I'm hard times. And so we sing these songs actually in a specific order in the mornings, actually before anything that we do, because so we start off with what we just said was called Mangalacharan. So it's bringing in goodness and bringing in like success in what we're doing, and that same for the same reasons we then sing songs now one to our guru, so our spiritual teacher who has taken form in this world to help us advance in spiritual knowledge. The Vaishnavas, those who are completely and pure at heart, devoted to Krishna and to service. Then to Lord Chaitanya, who that's on the bottom right corner over there, that's Lord Chaitanya and his brother Nitai. They're the Lord who appeared in the world in this age to deliver the fallen souls, us. Then to Krishna, who you know, and Radha, then to Radha. And then we sing the Mahamantra.
This age as in like this century?
Oh, so we live in what's called the Kali Yuga. I'll talk about it a little more after the songs. So just to give you, if you don't mind, I guess the class will be like, day 6, here's where we are. Basically, we're in what's called the Kali Yuga. It's the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And there's cycles and seasons to the universe. This happens to be the cycle and season of quarrel and hypocrisy. And so in each age, there's different processes for purifying oneself and becoming pure in God consciousness and Krishna consciousness. And in this age, it's the singing and chanting. And they brought it.
So what's the duration of the age?
This one is 432,000 years.
And it began when?
5,000 years ago. Right. Yeah. We're very recent into it. It's also the shortest of it, so we'll be out soon. Also, by singing and chanting, we actually connect into the transcendental realm, where we're already out of it because it's not in the material world.
So this age is a very difficult age. There's lots of problems, but it's the spiritual life. It's also easier.
Yeah, the process is a lot easier. I feel like these are leading questions. Yeah. Maybe we'll do the class like as we sing the bhajans, because the bhajans themselves, they teach us as well, and they're prayers for that advancement, and they're filled with the conclusive knowledge, the conclusive spiritual truths. I am not that skilled on harmonium, so.
Are there specific melodies you have to play, or are you just kind of improvising?
No, like I'm not good enough to improvise, but then there are specific melodies that like go with them. There's like morning melodies, there's midday, there's evening. I know the morning tune.
Which song do you want to sing?
I kind of want to just do. I kind of still want to. Let's stick to Guru Parampara, so page 23. And we do these all together. Krishna hoite chato mukha, hoya Krishna sevan mukha. Brahma hoite nara dera mahati, Narada hoite Vyasa, Madhva he Vyasa dasa, Padma pragna, Padmana bhagavati, Nihari Madhava Vamshe, Akshobhya Paramahamse, Shishamboli Yangi Karakore, Akshobhyera Shishya Jaya, Tirtaname Parijaya, Taradasye Gyana Sindhu Tore, Taha hoite doya nidhi, Taradasya virya nidhi, Rajendra hoiro taha hoite, Tahara kinkara jaya, Damaname parichaya, Parampara Jana Paramohate Jaya Dhamma Dasya Kyati Shri Purushottam Jati Taha Hoete Branya Tirta Sohori Vyasa Tirta Tara Dasa Lakshmi Pati Vyasa Dasa Taha Hoete Madhavendra Puri Madhavendra Puri Vada Shisha Vada Shiyesh Vada Nityananda Shri Advaita Vibhu Ishvara Puri Kendanya Gorindanya Shri Chaitanya Jagaguru Gaura Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu Shri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahiyanya Rupa Nuga Janira Jivana Vishvambara Priyankara Shri Swarupa Damodara Shri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Shiva Raghunatha Hanad Tada Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa Krishna Dasa Priya Vada Narottama Seva Pada Jadapada Vishwanatha Asha Vishwanatha Bhakta Santa Baladeva Jagannatha Tadapriya Shri Bhakti Vinoda Mahabhagavata Vara Shri Gora Kishora Vara Hari Bhajanete Jara Mohoda Shri Vashabhana Vivada Sada Seva Seva Pada Tada Daita Dasanama Prabhupada Antaranga Shri Swarupa Rupanuga Shri Keshava Bhakti Pragyahana Gaudiya Vedanta Vetamaya Varota Mohanta Gauravani Prachara Chadama Prachariro Gauravani Bhakti Vedanta Swami Padira Prabhupada Kama Kesha Priya Mahajana Vamana Narayan Hana Gana Priya sorry, not Anita de Pranadahana Esa Bahari Jana Gorangera Nija Jana Tarera Uchiste Morakama Guru Parampara 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 Pada Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Guru Parampara. Cool. So that translates to, in the beginning of creation, Sri Krishna spoke the science of devotional service to Lord Brahma. He in turn passed these teachings on to Sri Narad Muni, who accepted Sri Krishna Dvaipayana Veda Vyas as his disciple. And I know these names right now probably have very little meaning, but I'll talk about it in one moment. So Sri Vyas transmitted this knowledge to Sri Madhvacharya, who's also known as Purna Prajna Tirtha, and who is the sole refuge for his disciple Sri Padmanabha Tirtha. Following forth from Sri Madhvacharya were Nirhari Tirtha, Sri Madhava Tirtha, and then the swans like Sri Akshobhya Tirtha. The principal disciple of Sri Akshobhya Tirtha was known as Sri Jaya Tirtha, and Sri Gyana Sindhu was his servant. The parampara continued with Sri Daya Nidhi, then his disciple Sri Vidya Nidhi, and next with Sri Rajendra Tirtha, whose servant was Sri Jaya Dharma, also known as Sri Vidya Dvaj Tirtha. Know well that this is the Guru Parampara. The sannyasi Sri Purushottam Tirtha, a renowned disciple in the service of Sri Jaya Dharma, was succeeded by the erudite Sri Brahmanya Tirtha. Next in succession was Sri Vyastirtha, who was succeeded by Sri Lakshmipati, who in turn was succeeded by Sri Madhavendra Puri. The most prominent disciples of the great Sri Madhavendra Puri were Sri Ishwara Puri and the avatar Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Acharya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the golden lord and spiritual preceptor of all the worlds, made Ishwara Puri greatly fortunate by accepting him as his Diksha Guru. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Radha and Krishna combined, is the very life of the Rupa Nuga Vaishnavas, those who follow Sri Rupa Goswami. Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, Sri Rupa, and Sri Sanatan Goswamis were the dearmost servants of Lord Vishrambar, Sri Chaitanya. Dear to Sri Rupa Goswami were the great saintly personalities Sri Jiva Goswami and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, whose intimate disciple was the great poet Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj. The dearmost of Krishnadas was Srila Narottam Das Thakur, who was always engaged in Guru's Seva. His lotus feet were the only hope and aspiration of Sri Vishwanatha Chakrabarti Thakur. Prominent among the associates of Sri Vishwanatha Chakrabarti Thakur was Sri Baladev Biju Bhushan. After him, the line descended to Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, who was the beloved Shiksha Guru of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda was the intimate friend of the great Mahabhagavan, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, whose sole delight was Hari Bhajan. Sri Varshabhanavi, and so Hari Bhajan means his sole delight was in worshipping Krishna. Sri Varshabhanavi, the daughter of Sri Vrishabhanu Maharaj, is the best of Sri Krishna's beloveds, as she is forever engaged in loving service to her worshipful Lord. Sri Varshabhanavi Dayata Das, the servant Das of her beloved Dayita, is the name of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. A confidential disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, was a faithful follower of Sarup Damodar and Sri Rupa Goswami. Through his knowledge of Gaudiya Vedanta, he annihilated the darkness of ignorance spread by Mayavad, the idea that I'm God, you're God, we're all God, and at the end of the day, we're just going to merge into a big white light of godness. He was the abode of preaching and practicing Sri Gauranga's teachings, Gauravani, in his own life. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj extensively preached this Gauravani, and this completely fulfilled the inner heart's desire of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Most dear to Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami are the saintly personalities Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami and Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami, whose life treasure is Gauravani. All these devotees are the personal associates of Sri Gauranga. I desire to honor their uchista, the remnants of their lips, namely their Mahaprasad, as well as their instructions. So, I'm realizing as I read this, there's like an entire, much more than just one class in this song. So,
All of those words are names, right?
most of them, yeah.
Most of them are names and some of them are concepts.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe, I think what I'll do is we'll sing one more bhajan, one more song, and then we'll talk about it. Is that okay with you?
Picture book with names.
Yeah, they're all up there.
So,
Oh, nice.
so just a brief synopsis. So
Okay.
you were saying that there are different philosophies. There's philosophies of worshiping God in His personal form. So, and you were discussing all the teachers in that line, right?
Yeah. So, in what's really incredible is that within, it's not, I would say India, but it's actually what's called the Vedic tradition, is knowledge is passed down from a teacher to a disciple, from a perfect teacher to a perfect disciple, in the same way that, and this is to keep, and it keeps everything intact, in the same way that if there's a mango at the top of a tree, and say somebody climbs all the way to the top, they could throw it down, but then it kind of splatters, or they could pass it down one to the next, keeping it fresh and intact and alive. So in our tradition, the pure teachings that were spoken by the Lord Himself, have then been transmitted since time immemorial from one teacher to the perfect disciple, on and on and on. And so we're recalling who those teachers are as we sing this song. And so, what's important, so as Prabhu mentioned, so our conception, and not just our conception, this is like the Vedic, the Vedas are what's called, are translate literally to knowledge. So these are you can also let me know if I need to just be more simplistic, but rather than going over everything, that anybody can, please, if I'm like being too long-winded, let me know. Also, if I'm gonna speak, I just want to also offer my gratitude to my guru, Namo Om, Namo Om Vishnu Padaya. Om, thank you. Om Vishnu Padaya Gora Prishtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhaktivedanta Van Ittinamane. And Shamarani Matram Vande Agnopi Yadanugrahat Tagarit Bhavas Galachcha Labetcha Krishna Premandanam. So I'm offering my heartfelt obeisances to my teachers, to my gurus, my initiating guru Srila Bhaktivedanta Van Goswami Maharaj, and to my Shiksha Guru, who the guru who teaches me directly, Srimati Shamarani Didi, who I don't know if you met. She was yesterday the first day you were here? Oh, yeah, okay, so you met her.
Totally vibe
So what you're saying, in reverse, is you have your teacher, right?
Right.
And then these are the teachers that went before those teachers, and what the teachers now are saying is the identical thing, even though it was 5,000 years ago, to what Krishna spoke, and then also you're saying that what Krishna spoke 5,000 years ago, previously he had spoken it to the Sangha Vivishwat, right?
Yes.
So like we have the telephone game in our world, right? You talk around the table, right? By the time it gets to the end, it's not the same thing. So that's the purity of the Sampradaya, is that the same thing that Krishna said originally.
Would you mind saying, just because there's a live stream, and they can't go on the live stream, you don't have the microphone.
Oh, so yes, sorry. So what Haridas was saying is that, so billions of years ago, Krishna spoke this to Brahma, and thus, coming down in the line of teachers, we're hearing the exact same thing, unadulterated, because of the purity of the teachers. So he's speaking the same thing that Krishna spoke. So that was the essence of that, right?
I'd say so.
Thank you.
Because you can read a book but not necessarily understand it. But if someone who's read the book and truly understands it helps you learn it. Like the Bhagavad Gita, millions of people read it, but they interpret it in different ways. It may be misinterpreted in plenty of ways. So like the disciplic succession, the understanding is transmitted from person to person, which really helps. You know, like if you were to take a math book and try to learn math, it'd be much harder than if you had a math teacher. So same with this.
I mean, thankfully you guys said it all. You gave like the information. You know what? I'll pick up then what Prabhu had said about the personal conception. It's kind of like weird when I say like the conception. It's like we have the personal concept, but it's like the whole thing is it's not a concept, you know. So I don't want to like muddy it or water it down and be like, well, we have the personalist conception of God. The deep understanding is God's a person. It's kind of, for me at least, it's mind blowing. Of like, oh, there's a person who can like, who is completely omnipotent, aware, and is completely conscious of me and myself and all of us. And even though I, at least in my present state, can't see and hear and feel and talk directly to him. At least I can realize, even if I am, that I am, if that makes sense. And what we learn is that these processes are what makes it available, so that we can actually see him, so we can hear him, we can know him. And it's mind blowing. I mean, the fact that it's somebody who is completely infinite still has a form. And why not? Why couldn't the all-knowing, the all-perfect being still have a form and still be all-pervading? A example that we can see in the material world is the sun. The sun, although it's light, is all-pervading. I mean, the sun is extremely far from us, and yet I can see from like that little sliver there in the curtains, I can understand the presence of the sun because of its light, even though it's so far. And the sun is not diminished at all, despite how much it is giving off. It gives off so much heat that it's hot here, and it's far, and yet it's still hot here, and it doesn't get any colder. So from that, even though that is a material object, that's a way for us that we can start to understand how God is able to be both a person and also still be present everywhere. Yeah.
And some substances, we can have a direct relationship. Whether we fully understand it or not understand it, still the relationship is direct because of his omnipotence. So it's about relationship. So this Sampradaya that we are studying under, they're teaching us the relationship between the Jiva, the living entity, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead and all its associates.
Is Queen Bee back?
She'll be back tonight.
Coming today, this afternoon, right?
Yeah. Actually, she should be back before 3, so she should be back.
She reminds me of my grandma because she's from New York.
Oh, yeah. She should be back around. One good, nice segue that you made was about how God teaches us. We learn about our relationship with God, because it's easy to be like, yeah, relate to God, cool, but we also need to know who we are and who we are, truly are. Like our philosophy, there's something. Have you heard of the Bhagavad Gita?
I haven't.
Okay, Bhagavad Gita, it's the ABCs. I mean, ABCs is like diminishing because it sounds like it's so basic, but it's just like the encapsulating understanding of spirituality. What is the soul? What is the soul? What is matter? And who is the controller of both? And what we can and like the first thing that we have to know, the first thing that Krishna teaches Arjuna is we are not these bodies. I don't want to just end up. I did mention Krishna Arjuna. Basically, Arjuna and Krishna are. I don't want to go it's just too much. It's not a tangent, but I don't want to go so far down it. But the first thing that Krishna teaches is that we are not these bodies. We are spirit soul. These bodies are completely and totally temporary, and we know it. It is. One thing that Arjuna's brother said, Maharaj Yudhisthira, is that the greatest mystery in the world is that every day we see people, entities, like bugs or animals, going to the abode of death, but we don't think that we ourselves are going to be going there anytime soon. Our bodies are clearly temporary, but just as the body passes from boyhood to old age to death. I think I'm actually mixing up two verses, but the soul is not affected by such change. But at the time of death, just as you and I would change clothes when they're dirty, the soul changes bodies. And that change of bodies, typically people say reincarnation, but it's like technically not the right word, because reincarnation would mean that your actual body is coming back. Instead, like transmigrate is more right, because your soul then takes on another body based on the consciousness that you have at the time of death. So, yeah.
So, we mentioned relationship, right? And then, of course, the prayers are all about the various teachers, right? And you met Shaimarani, right? So she's one of those teachers in that line. So the living entity, he can't really understand easily his relationship with the Supreme Person. But we can understand the relationship we have with our guru or teacher. So in the same way, the teacher introduces us to the relationship with the Supreme Person. So thus the circle is complete. And that prayer is glorifying all the teachers in the line of Shaimarani.
Is Shamarani the only female out of all these students?
Yes and no. Like, no, there are other women, like, pure teachers. There are other women gurus in the past. In the present, I don't know of any other women, like, at her status and level. There might be a few. Do you? No.
She's the only female that I see in all of the pictures.
Yes, because this particular ashram, is dedicated to that teacher, right? So in previous ages, there's Lord Nityananda's wife. There was, so many teachers that are women, but and there are other Vaishnav teachers like Jhanarani, like Jamuna Devi, who's not present anymore. So there are others, yes, but as someone who's a seeker of understanding my relationship with God, having one teacher is enough. So they say, finding spiritual life comes from causeless mercy, right? So many people take up spiritual life and they search all over for what spiritual life is. But the fact is, you really search for the mercy giver, because you can't understand it on your own. So Shamarani is equipped to be that giver of mercy and knowledge. So yes, there are others, but one is all you need. More question? Next.
Bhajan? Yeah, budget. Next one. Do you want to lead one? Do you want to lead one?
Sure.
Might have been able to tell my harmonium playing really
It'll be
isn't great.
easier to follow. You can just play,
Okay.
What page?
I'm trying to find the.
Do you know which one you want? Do you know the title?
Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakur.
30. Oh, 39.
39, yeah. Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Edase Koruna Kori. Oh, hey, Vaishnava Thakura, Dayara Sagara, Edase Koruna Kori. Diya Pada Chaya, Solo Hey Amare, Tomara Charana Dori.
Diya Pada Chaya Shoro Heya
satsanga deho he amare ho sachi sangera ashe ekaki amar nahi paya bala hari nama sankirtane ekaki amara nahi paya bala hari nama sankirtane tumi kripa kori shadabindu diya tumi kripa kori shadabindu diya deho krishna namadane deho krishna namadane krishna se tomar krishna dite par tomara sakatiyache krishna se tomar krishna dite par tomara sakatiyache amito kangala krishna krishna boli 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 daitava pache pache daitava pache pache he vaishnava thakuram dayara sagara he dase karuna kori oh he vaishnava thakura dayara sagara he dase karuna kori. Should we read? O Vaishnava Thakur. O Vaishnava Thakur, you are an ocean of mercy. Being compassionate upon this servant, purify me by giving me the shade of your feet, of which I will take hold. Help me to subdue the 6 urges and purify my 6 faults. Bestow upon this servant the 6 qualities of a devotee, and give me the 6 kinds of devotional association. I am waiting in hope of attaining your association. Alone, I do not have the strength to perform Harinam Sankirtan. Being kind and giving me 1 drop of faith, bestow upon me the priceless treasure of Krishna's name. Krishna is yours, so you have the power to give Krishna. I am only a beggar running behind you, calling out, Krishna, Krishna. Questions?
So what's the Sparks Now version?
The what?
The Sparks Now.
Oh, Sparks Notes.
Yeah.
So Vaishnava is anyone who is a servant of the Lord, like someone who's, a pure Vaishnava is someone who's given their whole life to the Lord. And
Like Didi.
yeah, like Didi, we would consider her a Vaishnava. She's given her whole life, starting from the moment she heard Krishna's name till today. 50, can't do the math, 60 years later. Yeah, 60 years later almost. And so alone we really can't do much. Like, Harinam Sankirtan, specifically referred to in the song, is when 3 or more people get together and chant the holy names. In this age, the Kali Yuga, the last of the ages, the shortest and the last and the most intense, the way of worship in this age is by chanting together in kirtan, sankirtan. And it's, in previous ages they would meditate, like in a cave maybe, or just for days and weeks on end. Now we can't really do that. It's so hard to meditate. Fire engines are going off, so much noise and pollution. But we can get together, especially in a large group, and make a joyful noise unto the Lord, and it transcends the pollution of this age. And so, but we really need somebody who's already doing that.
But we still meditate individually.
We meditate individually, yeah, but it's more difficult.
Right, it's not like the together practice.
Yeah, and the together practice really is specifically prescribed for this age. And, people do attain peace and, through meditation, but it's more rare. In previous ages, like in Satya Yuga, the first age of the four yugas, everyone got a mantra and was able to attain through the mantra. But now you see who's meditating, you know, what percentage of the world, of the 7 billion people, who's actually meditating and making some progress, and it's small. You might know a few people. We may be lucky to know some people who are meditating, but not so many people, whereas anyone could just join a kirtan and dance and feel some ecstasy.
Yeah.
So it's really great in that way. And the Vaishnava is the person who is kind of carrying the tradition, like the torchbearer. And there's many, but not so many. So if we're lucky enough to meet one, we want to be like Bhaktivinoda.
When there's a dot underneath the S, it's an H.
Yeah, good call. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the author of the song, is expressing his mood that when he sees a Vaishnava, he's running after them, you know, and trying to get like them, to get into their mood and absorb their mood and get the transmission. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually wrote many of these songs in this book. But yeah, the 6 faults and the 6 urges, I haven't memorized those. One point. The previous songbook actually had them listed in the underneath. Oh, it's actually, yeah. See Upadeshamrita verses 1, 2, yeah.
So these poems, these songs are written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, right?
Was a guru.
He was alive in India in the late 1800s, early 1900s a little bit.
Okay.
He's also a famous personality in India, very successful court magistrate, and he was for a while he was there's the most ancient temple in the world. It's actually in India called Jagannath Temple. It's on the east coast of India. It's kind of the border between north and south, and he oversaw that temple and organized and helped it be maintained and everything. And he was also author of many books and had, I think, 8 children. And one of whom is Saraswati Thakur, who's up in the big picture right there. That's Bhaktivinoda Thakur's son. And he's the one who brought this mission, which was in a lot of ways in a little bit covered. You know, it was in traditions and families, and, you know, there was a lot of people who followed Sri Chaitanya in families, and he's the first one to make kind of a formal church out of it, more formal. He began that in Calcutta, and it spread all through India. And then one of his disciples, Bhaktivedanta Swami, who's to the left on there, it's kind of, you can see him to the left, he brought the mission all across the world, starting in New York. And he's the guru of Shamarani.
That's concise.
Yeah. I mean, it was really quick, you know, 8.
These guys are 2 different guys.
Yeah, so in the middle is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and
The guy who wrote this.
yeah,
Yep.
who wrote that song. That's his son in the middle, and then to our left is Swami Prabhupada, who's Shamarani's guru.
And then to the right?
To the right is my guru, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, who is a good friend of Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, who's on the left. Yeah, and Shamarani also was a great follower of Narayan Maharaj as well.
So as devotees, you know, we're studying under Shamarani, you know, to get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Narayan Maharaj and Bhakti Siddhanta and Bhakti Vinod. So, I mean, to me, you know, that's the goal of life, to find out. I know I was very unhappy and with many difficulties until I met the devotees and heard the chanting and the kartals, and then, you know, that was a long time ago, you know, but having the mercy of those enlightened souls is actually all we need to find happiness. It comes from within. They deposit it in us, and it grows like a plant. They call it a kripa, devotional kripa. So like that plant grows, so your sadhana grows, and so your association of other devotees grow, and you sort of join a family of everyone who is seeing things just as it was 5,000 years ago, coming directly from the lips of the Supreme Personality of God.
Does Shamarani assign your gurus? Because I thought she was just like head guru.
I don't know how things work around here.
She only started accepting disciples like wait, on a brief level, no, she does not assign anybody's guru. Like she doesn't assign anybody's guru. Like
Then how do we know?
it's a thing of the heart. It's a thing of the heart. Like you, yeah, like my guru is Srila Bhaktivedanta Van Goswamiraj. I mean, also like from a like kind of historical perspective, like things changed. She started accepting disciples 3 years ago, so most people who live here now are her disciples. Because it's nice. You get to like be around your guru all the time. Guru like they're like a guru on her level, like a person on her level, just being around them, she's overflowing with love. That is the only, in the same way, like the sun only knows how to give light, she only knows how to give love. Like it's just what's naturally flowing. So you just naturally want to be around that. You're naturally attracted to it. So yeah.
Could you just explain a little bit about there are different types of gurus? There's a guru who brings you to Krishna consciousness.
Oh, yeah.
There's the initiating guru, and then even after the initiating guru, maybe there's the teaching gurus.
Yeah, he mentioned there's the guru who just points the way to Krishna consciousness. So for me, that was a person who one of their yoga students opened up a yoga center at the time I was living in Philadelphia, and he opened it specifically for these practices. And that's when I then first started hearing the kirtan and I became attracted. Then there's the actual, like your initiating guru, they plug you into the powerhouse. They plug you into the powerhouse, and they are your worshipful. Like you are looking to them and praying to them, and they are. I'm still learning, to be quite honest. Still learning because, like, for me personally, my guru, I see him a couple times a year. I feel an extremely deep connection with him. I can't really explain it on any sort of like mundane, regular terms. And then there's your instructing guru, like your teaching guru, which for many people it is the person who gives them initiation and plugs them in. For me that's Didi. Like when I met her, I'd actually asked him like, oh, I need a guru, and she said, well, I don't do that, but I'll be your shiksha guru. I'll give you instructions. So she teaches, like she teaches what to do, what not to do. She teaches like from the books, and she teaches from her conduct too.
So in terms of
Oh.
Finding that initiating guru, we've all been initiated, the three of us. You know, that just becomes a personal relationship that you sort of figure out as you go along. So I'll take initiation from this person. So it's a journey, right? It's a very personal journey, and thus that surrender to an initiating guru is a very personal decision, and God reveals it within your heart.
Anything else? Yeah,
That's cool.
it is.
Excuse me, Prabhu. I must take your leave. I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say, would you want to sing the Maha Mantra? Do you want to sing Jai Radha Madhava once?
I can
And
sing
then-
the Maha Mantra.
Okay.
Is it Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna? Rama. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got it.
You got it. So I'll first start with a little song to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who initiated, this Hare Krishna movement. So,
You want to play cartels as well?
no,
Okay.
I have a hard time doing anything.
No problem.
But because you've asked, I can maybe try this. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, you can play the cartels. Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo Prabhu Ki Jai. Oh, I. So, Prabhu, maybe you just could explain the mantra.
Sure. Well, can I walk you out to your car?
Yeah, I'll listen as you explain the
Okay, cool. So, Hare. So, what I've heard from Guru Devi and what she's heard from Srila Prabhupada, so Hare is referring to the energy of God. Oh, energy of God. Then Krishna, oh God yourself. I'm calling out to you. So Hare, you're invoking, calling directly out to the divine feminine, Krishna. It means the all attractive reservoir of all pleasure. Rama means he enjoys sporting, loving pastimes with his beloved. You're calling out to the divine mother to be placed into the hands of the divine father, saying, I am struggling and suffering in this world of temporary things. I want something real. Please bring me to your arms. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
It is.
Are you Snowbird?
No,
No? Where are you from?
I'm from the New York area, yes, yeah. But I'm not a snowbird. I just came down to be with them today.
Okay.
I
One
flew
day
in.
snowbird.
What?
You could be a snowbird for one day.
Yeah, I mean, snowbirds usually mean people who come for
The whole winter.
for the winter,
Yeah.
Yes, just what that means. So, where are you born?
I was born here. My dad's from New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Your dad's still with us?
Yeah, he's still with us.
That's great. So, all I can say is, I wish you have a smooth journey in finding Krishna consciousness, and you've come to the right place.
Thank you so much.
What's your name?
My name is Anna C.
Anasi. I'm Radharaman.
Radha Raman Das.
Yes,
Nice to meet you.
thank you. Very, very nice to meet you, too. And does she know your names?
Atulananda.
Oh, that's right.
Atulanand.
Anna, C?
Anna C.
Or that's one word.
Yeah, just one word.
Anna, C. Cool.
I'm Haridas.
Haridas. I have to write all that down.
Yes.
We'll get used to it.
It's worth writing down. But you know the most important name, which is Shamarani.
Haribo. I think we'll say Gore Premanande. Haribo.